Hey everybody, Manny Martinez here, back with another episode of the Business Growth Strategies podcast, where we show you how to grow your business online. If you like the idea of growth in your business, make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review, and download these podcast episodes available on every major platform. In today's episode, Dave, Kyle, and I take a look at naturesbakery.com. Now, Nature's Bakery is already in a lot of retail stores nationwide. But we feel like there's still a lot of opportunity for growth, especially within some of the low-hanging fruit that we find within their keywords. In addition to that, we're going to take a look at a tool that the team here at Conklin Media actually built out, and it's called CEOknow.com. And this tool gives CEOs an opportunity and a base foundation to share with their teams to help promote business growth as well. So stay tuned. We're going to get right into it. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Business Growth Strategies podcast. For over 20 years, our team has been utilizing digital marketing tactics to help businesses generate more leads, close more sales, increase customer retention, and make their team more efficient. We're excited to share what we've learned and help you grow your business.
Kyle, that color shirt looks really nice on you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Of course. Speaking of shirts, Dave right now is wearing a Golden Girls shirt.
I know. I saw it. We talked about his new fashion strategy for the rest of his life.
Dude, the most epic thing ever. I watched Dave stand in a room full of jewelry owners, like some of the most successful in the nation, wearing a Golden Girls t-shirt and bright yellow Adidas shoes. It was the same. And he killed it. Like, it was epic, man.
That's awesome. It was pretty fun. Super fun. Yeah, that was pretty neat. So love that.
Yeah. Next up on the list, guys, is naturesbakery.com.
Yeah.
Met with them today.
Yeah, well, they're in a lot of stores around our area. I saw they're in Wise, they're in Turkey Hill.
Nationwide.
Yeah. So yeah, you had a call with them today. You mind explaining a little bit about who they are, what they do, and how that call went as well?
I met with a lady named Melissa. She was super cool. They are a client or a potential client, a company that we reached out to because we reached out via email because we found some keywords that they could improve for, some things that they could be doing a little bit different when it comes to their SEO. They are retail, big box retail, grocery stores, Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco. Those are huge.
Awesome.
Like those, that's where the bulk of their revenue comes from.
That's great.
And then they have a strong Amazon presence as well. And then their website is sort of a distant third when it comes to like direct to consumer sales. Like very few people go on their website and buy, but they produce gluten-free, nut-free, vegan, not protein, but like granola and like fig fruit-based kind of oat bars, sort of like a Nutri-Grain bar. There's another company called That's It, that is similar. They're owned by Kind bars.
Oh, okay, cool.
They were just acquired about a year ago, and Kind Bars is owned by Mars. So they are a subsidiary of a subsidiary. But we talked about sort of they have paid strategies in place. They're going to be launching a new website sometime, probably within the next 2 or 3 months. But what I found with them, and I had a couple other things pulled up. What I found with them was a couple different opportunities when it comes to strategies. So what I did, and I'll sort of walk you guys through it.
Did you know that there's a Mars location right up the road? I
did. Well, I found that out earlier today.
Okay. Sorry. So what you did, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. So I've started with the word bar, right? And looking at the word bar, I included keywords like fig and healthy and oat and granola and gluten-free and gluten-free and vegan and
organic,
nut free, organic, nut dash free. So basically went through and applied, all of these different, that's wrong. Any keywords, not all keywords. So applied all of these different filters. This did the same thing. I don't know why Vegas popped up. So found out there's just massive search volume around a lot of these terms. And so once I was able to kind of distill down the bars that apply to them, they also include they have a brownie bar that is pretty good. So found a bunch of keywords where there's, obviously search volume for all of these terms. And then from there, I went into Ahrefs and did a similar process where what I did is I used their site, and they are naturesbakery.com, and they rank really, really well. I'll show you sort of the overview before I show you kind of what I did. So obviously something jumped big in 2019 as far as referring domains. That has moved up and to the right, which, obviously is really key for any company that's boosting their SEO, is how many domains are referring us. So they've got, 1,200 domains that are referring them.
Do you know
domain
when
rating has,
do you know when they were acquired by Kind?
It was about a year ago. So could have something to do with that. Okay. Domain rating has stayed pretty stagnant. Organic traffic has kind of moved up and to the right over time, but fluctuated pretty significantly from month to month, and I would not call it a true up and to the right movement necessarily from an organic standpoint. And one of the things that Melissa told me is that, a lot of their SEO has been kind of a happy accident just by virtue of the fact that they're a big brand with a big retail presence, and, they have not been putting a lot of effort into it. So I go into the organic keywords that they rank for. And what I want to do, so I'm going to exclude the term nature and the term bakery as keyword terms, just to eliminate any branded keywords. And then I'm going to take the same keywords that I put in here, and I'm just going to find those in here. So fig and healthy and oat and granola brownie. Gluten-free.
I just figured out what you're doing, and I'm so impressed. Because you're doing what I normally do on the paid versus organic side, right? You're like, what are you missing? Yep. Freaking love this. This is hot. This is hot, people. Pay attention. Kyle's on it.
Vegan.
Kyle's making it happen right now.
Okay. So, and to be clear, if I was not doing this live on a podcast, I would spend a lot more time and I would come up with 25 of these keywords.
Sure.
But the process holds true, right? I would go through and I would go, all right, what are the keywords that we absolutely need to make sure that we include here by looking through their site, right? So they've got chocolate oat and they've got fig and they've got apple cinnamon, they've got blueberry. So I would include like a bunch of these different keywords, right? But what I'm doing now is I'm going, okay, so here's all the keywords and here's where they rank. Well, they're in position 1 for a ton of these, right? Fig bars, they're in position 1 for fig bars all over the place. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, where is their opportunity? So where are you in position 5 to position 20 for these keywords? And now we find our opportunity keywords, right? So we've got gluten-free bars, brownie bars, fig snacks, best fig bars. All of these are keywords that they are currently ranking for in these positions that with, a solid SEO strategy, we can start really driving up the traffic. And some of these have pretty significant search volume. But the thing is, for them, they've got a domain rating that's high enough that if we start creating content, if we start building links to some of these category pages, then we're going to start to raise the ranking of all of these words at the same time.
Yeah. And to that point, man, we've, as you guys know, this is more for the listener. Like we've had some very smart clients who really understand SEO, and they didn't even care. Like they hired us to increase their domain rating. Not to increase their keyword traffic because they didn't give a crap about keywords. They knew, to Kyle's point, if they had a high enough domain rating, DR as we call it, then they could write whatever content they want and it's going to rank really well. As long as it's loosely related. So that's awesome. Yeah.
So strategy here basically that I propose to them is let's let's group these, right? Let's take all these 104 keywords that there would probably be more of if we spend a lot of time on this. We take these 104 keywords and we put them into different groups, right? So we section them. Those become power pages, which are pillar content pages around that particular topic. And then we have supporting content that builds up those power pages for fig bars or gluten-free bars or brownie bars or however the categories, quote unquote, lay out. So we drive links to those power page, topics. We link in between the supporting content and the pillar content. Everything comes up, really, really aggressively. And we could even, we could even build some links back to, with a site like this, we could build links to the homepage and start seeing the domain rating come up. And again, it just supports the efforts across the board.
Yeah. And if you did a great thing for a company like this to do, if you're going to actually build links, is like, here's a list of all the mom blogs, and these are all mom blogs where if you send them, a little pack of bars with a, hey, thanks in advance for reviewing our bars on your blog. They'll do that. Like, they're organic and and there's all these fitness bloggers out there that'll talk about it. We worked with for about a year, we worked with a company that did dates, not like dates, like you go on a date with your wife, but
like pitted dates.
Yes, and oh my gosh, we actually went out and met with them in California, and it's unbelievable how different a date is when you actually get it right off the tree. And then they do their thing with it. They do the fermentation process or whatever.
Is a date not a plum?
Yes, but it's not supposed to be dry. That's what we learned when we were out there. They're like freaking candy.
Yeah,
and no added sugar,
super sweet.
No added sugar, no anything. The way they did these, and then they shipped them in a certain type of. Anyway, point is, they went to all these health blogs, and we were able to get them links all over the place. So that's
you could do something similar. You could do this. So I would come up with 6 different categories where there's substantial blog blogger volume. So if you did the mom bloggers and then you did the van life people, because you've got essentially a non-perishable thing. So you've got a whole, a ton of other people that could do it. So you take the content, you put it in categories, you take the potential links back. And some of these sites, if you were to go in and look at the domain rating of some of these mom blog sites, they're huge. They've got tons and tons of traffic, big following, links all over the place, links out, links in, so these are really, really valuable links to get. Yeah. So,
and I have a question on the backlinks, and excuse my ignorance. And if this isn't relevant, I can cut it out because I can do that. But
you can do it, Kyle.
I can, yes. So I mentioned they're in Wise Market. Now, all of these grocery stores have like curbside pickup options and stuff like that. So you have to be able to see the products within their site somehow. Is there no backlinks already on those products?
They're probably no. If they are, well, so say that you're on a Wise Market. They've got curbside pickup. You're not leaving the site. They're just uploading an image of that particular product, and then you're staying on the Wise or the Kroger or the Publix or whatever. And a lot of times, so you can do what's called a no follow link, where the link does not itself provide any equity, but there's not really any reason for Kroger or Wise or Giant or whoever it is, or Costco or Sam's, which to your point would be an incredibly valuable link. Right, let's be clear. If we're just, referring, if it's truly a referring link, those sites are going to have ridiculous domain authority. Yeah. And so a link from them will be very valuable. And by the way, like we're talking to CEOs and business leaders. I want you to imagine that tomorrow morning, The Rock went on Good Morning America and said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell everybody that my friend Kyle Porter is awesome. And if you need help growing your business, he's the guy to call. You want to call Conklin Media Business Growth Strategies, Dave Conklin, Manny Martinez, Kyle Porter. That's the person to call if you're interested in growing a business." Okay, that's the only thing that our business would ever need. We're done at that 100%. Point, right? Like, that's what we're talking about when we talk about backlinks and when we talk about domain authority. The Rock is as credible a person in the public eye as there can be. And if he passes a referral to a service, that service is going to explode, period, full stop, the end of the story.
Yep.
Right. So when we talk about domain links, if you can get a link, that's a referral. It is a vote of confidence from an authoritative source that says, when it comes to the text that's linking, which we call anchor text, when it comes to this is the person to talk about or to talk to. So when we talk about backlinks and why they're so important, that's why. So yes, that link would be very valuable, but it does raise a question to me. And this is something that I don't see happen very often, but I've started using, when COVID hit, our family started using Instacart a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do too. Actually, I don't think my wife has been to a grocery store in
we do the Walmart pickup.
Instacart has an ad platform that is seamless. If you've used Instacart, it's very, very difficult. Just like Google used to be, it's difficult to tell which products are an advertisement and which products are just, I searched for beef jerky and here's beef jerky. So for a product like this, if you have we've got some clients that sell non-alcoholic mixers that are in grocery stores. I don't know if they have like a national presence. So I don't know where the line is as far as like when you can advertise in what stores or whatever.
Sure.
But if you've got a retail presence and you're not at least looking at some of these second, I don't even want to say second tier platforms, but everybody thinks like Google, Facebook, YouTube, those are the only places I can advertise. We've got home services clients that are absolutely destroying it by advertising on Nextdoor or advertising on, Pinterest for people who do bathroom renovations, so there's so many different platforms where, again, it goes back to reverse engineer the customer behavior. Where are they spending time and where are they going to go look for the thing that you do? And if you can pay money to be at the top of the list when they look for that thing, like that's almost always a good bet.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Love it. I have a fun little tool here, little techie thing.
Yeah.
We're going to make people's eyes roll back in their heads. So, I have this thing called SEO Quake installed in Firefox. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, it will pull up certain data that you want. But what I did here, I did in URL blog in Google and then said, show me any sites that have the word blog in a URL, but then also have review, healthy, and comments anywhere on the page. And I have 508,000 blog pages here. These are all places that have done reviews on stuff related to health. And you can actually sort them by stuff like things that are important, like how many organic keywords they rank for example. So just another way to literally go and you can get a link from Harvard Health. Mm-hmm. Talk to the person that wrote this article and boom, there's a huge, we did one because like you were talking about The Rock and in our world, in a realistic world, those super authoritative links tend to come from .gov sites and .edu sites. Mm-hmm. So like a link from harvard.edu is worth 20 links from Mommy Blogger. Yeah. And it's a great way to hey, get my product mentioned in this article and
yeah. And if Harvard had a link that, if that article had a link that said, healthiest granola bars or healthiest fruit bars, then all of a sudden, the traffic and the ranking and everything for Nature's Bakery is going to skyrocket.
Yep.
I would like to show off a cool, handy tool that actually, Dave, you and your team created.
Okay.
This was your brainchild. I didn't say birth. Did you notice that?
You didn't say birth child.
It's say that. Do you say birth child?
No, but I said it once. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I think so too. He said it to me, not on the podcast many times, but because then when we came up here, I was like, everything is about birthing for you. Mm-hmm. For you. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But it's the CEO No report. And I was wondering if you could punch in naturesbakery.com on there. And this was a report that a lot of those jewelers at the event that we went to, they were most interested in. And it kind of compiles a lot of the things that we just talked about on the podcast together. And it's a really cool tool that I want you to show off if you don't mind.
Yeah. So you got her.
So this is ceono.com.
Excuse me. So we made this for CEOs so that they could have a conversation starting point with their tech and or marketing teams. So the whole point of this is to take really complicated stuff and break it down into pretty pictures and charts and all that. So, yeah. So in the first section, and by the way, in each section, we have an explainer video that you can watch that explains what you're looking at. So step one is, we look at how many referring domains are pointing into the site, which is, Kyle, you just mentioned this earlier. So, and what we tell CEOs is we want to see this going up and to the right. And if it's not going up and to the right, then you need to, chat with your marketing team and ask why. And it's a thumbs up if it's going up and to the right, a thumbs down if it's not. So super simple, like, yay, this is good. No, it's not good.
Easy to read.
This breaks down, like if CEOs said, hey, why'd we have this big dip in paid traffic? What happened there? Or if they see it go through the roof, they can go like, what are we spending money on right now? And then this is the organic. So again, you want to see this going up and to the right. And it specifically breaks out how many phrases we're looking at and, all this kind of stuff. And it gives advice on how to make it better. Step 3 is the amount of traffic, from the first 2 steps. This is my favorite. So like this takes into account, and again, on my screen, for whatever reason, the priority score is backwards. So this is supposed to be at the top. So what this does is it takes into account all of the 2,000 keywords the site ranks for, and we analyzed them. And remember how Kyle looked specifically at positions like 6 through 20 or whatever?
Yeah.
So this actually does that work. It looks at the ones that rank in positions 5 through 20. And then it counts the search volume, how difficult the keyword is to rank for, what people are willing to pay for the keyword, etc. And then gives it a priority score, which we create through an algorithm. So now in this particular case, what you would do is they wouldn't want to rank for bakery. So you hit X, bakery, Figs customer service, probably not. Baked bars. So that's interesting. So, you've got 4,400 people a month typing in baked bars. Gluten-free bars, is another one. I would probably X this one. So the whole point of this is the CEO goes through here and just X's ones that aren't relevant. But if they're actively looking at trying to increase SEO, this is like your biggest opportunities is the whole,
it's huge.
Is the whole point of it. This is a quick rundown of all the title tags on the site. Again, CEOs loved looking at this because they can go like, well, why the heck does it say that? Like, we don't sell that, or, we should be focusing more on this content or whatever. This is just a fun kind of a thing. And then this is broken links. So these are all they have a lot of broken links on their site right now. So all of these need to be fixed. And some of them are from pretty authoritative sites. Some of these food bloggers that we talked about, actually, parentsneed.com, mamabelly.com. It's interesting. So these are actual blogs that they already have links on. And unfortunately, when they are clicking on these links and trying to go to their website, they are getting, like right here, Nature's Bakery. I don't know if that's the one or not. It is not. But there's one on there somewhere that is broken that goes to their site. Look, they were making infographics. They were doing something with SEO, Kyle. There it is. So so this is funny. So it looks to me, I would put money on the line that they had someone create this infographic to get links, and they spread it to mom bloggers. Which this mom blogger, they're ranking for about 3,000 keywords, so it's a good one. So they probably sent it to them. They said, yeah, we'll link to it, and they put the link back to it, and then since then, something has changed with their website.
Yeah, something changed on the site.
Right, so now it's a 404. So anyway, that's the whole
301 those 404s. Got
a 301 the 404s, baby. That's right. That's right. So this is where we look at what keyword phrases they're actually paying for. Sometimes CEOs will look at this and go, why are we buying that? Why are we buying St. Louis? What's the point of paying for that? and they can have an intelligent conversation. These are competitors in terms of the number of keyword phrases that they are ranking for. So you can see, any of them like this one. Dana's Bakery is also buying keyword phrases, which you can see here. But this is a cool thing. Again, they love this because they're like, oh, I know that company. I don't know that company. And then lastly, security information. So this tells you if there's a security issue. This is so common and CEOs never even know about it. But what can happen is if you've already been to Nature's Bakery a lot, your browser won't always come up with like a security warning. But somebody who's never been there before and tries to go there, if one of these things has a red X on it, it'll actually say to them, and it might necessarily be completely true, but it says to them like, this site is potentially hacking your information, and it can be a major.
I always turn away
problem
from those sites. Yeah.
Yep. And it's typically just because there's not a valid certificate, HTTPS certificate. So that's CEO No, Manny.
That's huge.
That's what we do there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to dig into on these guys, Kyle, Dave?
I mean, my big thing, I think, is, again, going back to Uplead or any lead provider. I mean, literally, if they want to expand their distribution network, I don't know if that's their goal or not, but even if so we keep snacks here for everybody on the team. I know for a fact that we're not the only, company in the world that does that. So hitting companies that have maybe 10 to 200 employees at their headquarter location, and or snack baskets to send to remote workers once a month. I think there's a campaign that could potentially be created where we could sell in bulk to a business audience, and you could use cold email. You can use a lot of different, things. You could put a little microsite together or something how about employeesfed.com or something. And
how about vending machine companies? As I know you mentioned the up to 200 employees, and I just kind of remember back to where I was before I came here. We had vending machines in our break rooms.
Yeah.
We didn't provide free snacks, but we had vending machines.
Anywhere where you can sell in bulk too, because obviously they probably don't want to sell one-off bars to people. I imagine that's not their big goal. So, but there could be, even, retail stores tend to have break rooms, and why not provide a healthy, alternative to the Kit Kat bars and whatever.
True.
And, give some kind of a thing where, hey, you've got, because there's ways to search for store locations that have 200 or more stores, and you could, pop it in there. Or we send Christmas gifts every year, so what a great idea too. We'll put a basket together for you. Cause I saw they do a basket. You can build a basket. I saw.
Yeah.
Where the heck is it?
You can buy
build your
different
box.
Different kinds of bars.
Yeah. So,
That's
cool.
cool.
if they're game for here's a 72 pack for $57. I mean, what a cool thing to send your clients, people remember you when you fed them.
Yeah.
So
True.
just mo ideas.
Awesome.
Mo ideas.
Cool. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was another awesome episode. Really appreciate it. If you want us to go through your website, let us know. You can email us at hello@conklinmedia.com or get a hold of us at businessgrowthstrategies.com. Fellas, appreciate it. Another great one.
Word.
Woo woo.
Peace out.